We got a chance to hear from some of the Bills today, including safety Jordan Poyer. He's been an important part of the Bills defense since 2017, but could have been playing somewhere else this fall until agreeing to a new deal yesterday. Joining us live now is our Bills insider, Vic Carucci, who you can also catch on Sirius XM radio. Vic, we wanted to bring you in today to get some more context on what this all means. After the Bills lost some players, Tremaine Edmonds, we heard this week, we found that out. Jordan Poyer is a key piece of the puzzle, and he may have been leaving, so some fans were concerned. How do you think it came to be that Poyer ended up signing here instead of signing elsewhere during free agency?
Yeah, Kelly, I think first of all, this is probably the best news of free agency that you're going to hear from the Bills. I mean, that's it. They may do other things, but nothing will be more important than this. Keeping a veteran player that they desperately needed to keep when it had seemed like a foregone conclusion that both Jordan Poyer and Tremaine Edmonds would leave. But how did they do it? A collaborative effort between Brandon Beane and Drew Rosenhaus, who's the agent for Jordan Poyer, coming together on a sensible deal that achieves something for both sides. Usually the best deals are that. 2 years, so it's short in duration for a 32-year-old guy, old in football terms, but achieving for Poyer what he wanted, because $13 million of this deal, as it's been reported, is guaranteed money. That is friendlier against the Bills' salary cap and, of course, puts more in the Poyer bank account.
Only in football is 32 considered old. Let's talk more about Poyer now. Right. He said he loves it here, he knows what the expectations are here, and that he knew he wanted to play again. He just didn't know where he was going to end up. So this afternoon, he also addressed that tax issue he brought up on social media. Here's what he had to say.
I love these fans out here. I love this community. I know I said some stuff about the taxes. I think we can all agree that we're like, what the hell? Like, yes. So, I mean, sorry. I said it. I said the truth. But that had nothing to do with my decision on whether or not I was going to come here or leave. I didn't want to leave, and I'm home now. And this is where I'm going to finish my career, and I'm really excited about that.
So in his words there, he plans to finish his career as a Bill. Talk a little bit more about how an important piece of the Bills' defense he is and why it's such a win for the Bills to keep him here.
Kelly, it's about the experience, and this team could not afford to have that much experience and talent walk out the door. They're a better team with Jordan Poyer in the lineup, and when he was hurt, you saw the problems that arose from that. But you're looking at a secondary in particular, a defense on the whole, that is going to need as much experienced presence as possible, because there's going to be an infusion of youth. If the Bills are going to function as well as they can with their salary cap challenges, they are, as Brandon Beane announced today, about $9 million under. Sounds like a lot of money, but it's really not, because they still have to sign draft picks and all of that. They're going to rely on youth, on rookies, on second or third year players to contribute more. You need leaders, veteran leadership out there to help direct that, in addition to the coaches. Jordan Poyer does that.
And we just heard from Brandon Beane in the past hour, and with all signs pointing towards quarterback Aaron Rodgers joining the Jets, he had some interesting thoughts on the strength of the division moving forward, didn't he?
He did, Kelly. He talked about this, the Bills being, of course, this team that has been at the top of the AFC East, and it's been sort of the assumption that they're going to win it every year. He said this may be the toughest year ever, at least in terms of this group of Bills, to try to win that division, anticipating Rodgers' arrival and just the improvement in competition overall. Miami made some key moves as well. So just looking at it, I think the Patriots could get better with the coaching addition they made. Bill O'Brien running the offense, which was a problem last year for Mac Jones in the offense without somebody with an offensive background. So it's going to be, I think, an interesting challenge for the Bills.
And let's look ahead to the draft. What are the biggest needs that the Bills have at this point?
Yeah, so I think two things from here on out, and Brandon Beane addressed this. First of all, he said they're not done with free agency, even though he was out there giving some summary thoughts, and they brought out Jordan Poyer, they brought out Connor McGovern, the offensive guard they signed to meet the media, and he talked about more work that has to be done. But from the draft standpoint, I see this as finding key contributors still on defense, perhaps, and looking at, some depth that they could find either at safety, linebacker for sure, and they've got to address the linebacker spot. That may be the number one thing they do. I think pass rusher is still important for this team. I think offensive line help is still important for this team, and a lot of clamoring for wide receiver. I think they go there, and somewhere along the line, and he said this too, Brandon Beane, the bigger, more powerful type of running back that they don't have right now.
All right, that's all the time we have. Vic, thank you for being on our town hall tonight.